I can relate to that as an immigrant myself, that drive that you're mentioning, that willingness to succeed. But what I want to ask you is that, is there a flip side to that? Is there a place where you take it too far and then that creates maybe extra pressure or something which
Yeah.
maybe is not beneficial? Yeah.
I think that sometimes it's still even I've been in the US almost 20 years now, and I still find myself thinking about in terms of cost of when I was like an 18-year-old, right? And sometimes I get shocked by when someone tells me like this costs this, although like I completely rewired my brain to think, okay, in the context of America, that's the price. I still always push back whenever I think that something can be done in a much more efficient way. The fundamental component there, like it's to not be penny wise and pound foolish, right? Like it's important to be frugal. It's just, where are you frugal, right? Because that's the part. And whenever you're actually going to be, whenever you're actually going to deploy spend a lot on something, you better do a lot of research on just making that decision important, right? Like being on hiring, being on a vendor, being on a project. And that level of preparation is something that I think Bolivia gave me, because you have, if you're with limited resources, you better prepare a budget and I have a sense of what's the best path forward.
Yeah, yeah. And does that stop you from making fast decisions or big, bold bets, especially where finances are involved?
I think it's important to know that you have that blind side and have someone to counter that, right? I think the first step is recognition that maybe that frugality could get in the way, and having someone, in this case would be like a teammate or your co-founder, will say, okay, like this is the counter to that is inaction, right? And being able to have a healthy conversation around it. And that's it. And being in my case, to being very open to change your mind when the facts change, right? Like I love that saying I think it's attributed to Keynes, right? Like when the facts change, I change my mind. What do you do? I think I'm very open to have my mind change if someone presents to me better facts.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I think recognition or the awareness of it is already half the battle won, because you're not stuck with a viewpoint and you can observe it. And if you can observe it, then you can do something different, or you can choose differently.